I'm going to explain to you quickly how to use your trauma to embrace who you are. How to see through your trauma back to who you were. Because we were all always born with a certain life path, with a certain reason for why. What the fuck? That was literally so fucking weird. Okay. But for a certain reason as to why we are born the signs that we are, we're born on the days that we are, we're born with the people in the lives that we live, in the initial lives of our childhood, because that is the point where you don't have any outside control over your life. So there is nothing to hold on to. You are forced at that point to have let go of stuff that you haven't even had a hold of yet, which is like your ego. Your ego is not built when you're a kid. You're pure passion, you're pure energy, you're pure, you're closer to oneness. And you have to get back to that. That is what fuels us, your passions, your life force simply residing in your pelvic area. Needing to be uplifted and brought up through to your third eye for you to be able to express your creativity and your passions, how you envision in your mind. It takes work. It takes patience. It takes meditation. It takes time with yourself to understand yourself, to understand who you were before trauma happened to you, to understand how to get back to that person. And it's very simple. It's very simple. And I can easily tell you, it's always most likely who you were as a child. It's always going to be in the passions that you had as a child. It's never going to be anything that somebody else put in your head. I am 20 years old, and I'm a life path 9. This is my last ascension. I don't even know if ascension is the right word, but this is my last physical life, I'm presuming. If there is no higher physical life above being a human, which I believe there probably is, but, well, not that I believe there probably is. Of course, we know that these people are multidimensional, so that's just why we as humans don't understand exactly what gods are. But you are one. It is within you. It's always been within you. It's always been within you. You are part of the God that made you. You are their essence. You are spirit. And ascension consciousness is the journey of getting back to oneness. There is a duality in everything, but it's learning how to balance said duality, especially in this world. Being on this earth, everybody comes this earth specifically to balance your materialistic and your spiritual. It's just that. You have to balance the material things because you are material. You are human. You were put on this earth to create material things, but you were not put on this earth to hold material things above your spiritual power, above your creativity in itself, above your creative energy. You are meant to hold your creative energy as the highest, most important thing to you. And you are meant to express that in every single way that you seem fit. Me being a Leo, I'm a sun sign. Like, Leo is literally the sign of the sun, and that's my sun sign. So it's perfectly fitting for me to be not just a leader, but a creative leader. Someone who leads new ideas that are promising for every single person, because it is possible. If there's a will, there is a way. And that is the most true sentiment ever. Okay, nothing is a coincidence. If there's a will, there is a way. But are you tapping into the part of you that already knows? Your intuition? Are you tapping into that higher self? That voice in your brain that you feel telling you what you should and should probably not do. It's not here to control you. It's here to guide you. It's here to guide you because it's been here before. It sees everything. It knows everything because it is interdimensional. How you tap into that is based off of you. For some people, it just comes naturally. Like everything I'm saying out of my third eye right now, okay? It's coming out, and it's everything that I've experienced multiple times and time again. It's so familiar. We're always so comfortable with our own intuition because it's so familiar, because it is the source that we come from. Learning to take that, uphold it, embrace it is the journey of this whole thing. I grew up without a mom. My mom died when I was 10 years old. Nobody taught me how to be a proper woman because I was too busy watching my aunt be a narcissist towards me. And it was almost as if she was almost angry that her sister had died, but took it out on me. And if it was my fault, or as if I was some sort of devil child and I wasn't the same little baby angel that was her sister's daughter. And that killed everything inside of me. That killed everything inside of me. Honestly. I realized, like, I have so much innocence. I've always been a victim of my circumstances. And saying that in this moment is not something that I'm, like, proud of. But what I am proud of is understanding that I had no control at that moment. And when I did have control, I was always thinking about the time that I was going to have control over myself. I was always thinking about the time that I was going to become an adult, that I was going to be 18 and finally make the decisions that I want to make, that I think is best for me, that I know is best for me. Nobody taught me how to be a woman. But somehow, in the little time that I had watching my mom, in the little time that I had watching my grandma, I know that it is my feminine duty to embrace my intuition and spread that. I know that it is my feminine duty to nurture myself and to make sure that anything that comes out of me after me is a resemblance of how hard I worked to tap into that intuition to protect myself. I had no masculine parts because I was being made to be masculine. I was living in survival mode at all this time happening because, as anyone does when trauma is happening to you, you're in survival mode. It's learning to get out of that survival mode. It's learning that money is not the pinnacle of abundance, but it is only one form of abundance, and there is abundance in everything. And the main form of abundance is love. Even though I felt I had like a lack of abundance around me and my family because my mom died when I was 10, my aunt was a narcissist, then she died when I was 16, then my grandma died shortly after her. It felt like, where was the nurturing love that I truly deserved and needed? But yet here I am 10 fucking years later. I'm still happy. I'm still full of love. I'm always full of love. It's something so tiring. I have to always give out love and not be reciprocated, but karma is everything. And I take that with the highest honor, to know what karma is and to understand it to the full extent, because most people don't. Most people don't. Everything you do is karma. Karma translate to action. When you take actions, they have reactions, and it's going to be the same action that you took. What you reap is what you sow. And it's the same thing with becoming one with oneself, becoming one with everyone outside of you. You have to recreate your karma cycles. You have to create new karmic cycles. You have to create good karmic cycles. And that's why I'm still here. I don't know how many times I've thought of killing myself in the last 10 years. But the fact that I'm still even like chasing my dreams and doing what I'm supposed to do. Because I know that if I did kill myself, I would have to restart. I don't want to fucking restart. I'm going to get through this shit. I'm going to push through this fucking shit. Okay? I'm damn sure. I'm so young, and I was put on this earth at this specific time because I'm going to outlive those bastards that put everybody in these terrible situations. I am. And it's going to be my new world. It's going to be my new consciousness over the world, giving love, not trying to control people. It's going to be my consciousness that frees every consciousness. Everyone. We have to free ourselves from the trauma that is placed onto us by people who don't even know us. Because I can guarantee, I can sit here and tell you with a straight face that every single trauma that I've been through has been a domino effect of this system. And we may think that we are not affected by it as Black people if we have such a like convenient little life into this assimilation, but that was taken early from me, from 10 years old. Honestly, and I look back at what my family was going through. When I was 10, I was naive. It wasn't even assimilation. They were still trapped in the system, always, always. My mom, single mother, taking care of 4 girls. 4 girls. Not boys, girls. With a fucked up man who's acting like he hates her, taking everything from her. And all she has is her 4 girls. And she loved them dearly. But I see her all the time. And I know that's another reason why I have to keep going. I'm still here. I'm somebody's mom. Even if it's not my physical. There's so many people there's so many other people out there who don't have a mom. And who need guidance. who need to hear stuff like this because they don't know what to do, they don't know where to go, and they're so lost. Some people's intuition, they can't hear it. Some people need another light to clear the clouds from their brain. I didn't have anybody to actually do that for me in real time. I had to search for it on the internet. But I can't always say that I have always been tapped into my intuition. I've luckily been one of those people who have never been so clouded by it. I've always been an open-minded person. I've always been open to everything. And I think that always came when I was little because, like, my mom had secrets that I didn't know. And now that I'm like an older person, I realize she was very spiritual. She wasn't just Christian. She was very spiritual. She was very spiritual. And as women, we let men oppress us into these controlling ideas that they think is best for us because they don't know how to follow their intuition. But a man is not your intuition. A man is not your God. And it would never be. The closest gender we have to God is female. That's why females were given the gift of birth, the ultimate use of your creative power, the ultimate use of bringing life, the ultimate replication of what a God is, creating life. And to allow someone to have that power when they don't even physically control your body is something so dehumanizing to the femininity. It's subduing to the masculine when they're supposed to live in harmony. Your masculine is supposed to protect the knowledge, the love, the light that is the feminine. They're supposed to listen to the lead that has the best. Not that they can't listen to their own intuition, because men are gifted with intuition. But men today in this society are too programmed to give into physical masculinity first. Not even the actual meaning of masculinity, which is protecting, but the physical ego representation of masculinity, which is controlling. Controlling is not protection. Telling someone what to do because it benefits you is not protection. Honestly, women, I feel, we have more balance when we're born because we're less programmed to give into masculinity, and we're more programmed by other women who have had that peak in the matrix, but they're just too afraid to actually break free from the matrix. Those little advice that women who you've seen be controlled by men in their life, who have yearned for their own freedom and their own, who know that they have some type of creative power in them to be released, but they comply. And I'm talking about the older women who, of course, went through that generation of thinking that marriage was the best and only option in the end. Them realizing that they have given their control to a man their whole life and it wasn't love. Telling young women not to let a man to control you. Giving us the advice of listening to our intuition, listening to our hearts, listening to what we feel inside, and not going against that. That's what I've learned. I love my granddad, but he is a pastor and he's been a pastor his whole life. I truly feel my grandma was along for the religious ride. Whenever I would be near my grandma, she never felt like controlling. It never felt scared. I wouldn't say I'm scared of my granddad. I was never like scared of my granddad, but the Christianity just never felt right to me. I always felt weird in church. And it just made sense now. It just makes sense. The death of my mom was the awakening point. And it had to happen early because I am a life path 9. So I have to awaken early because this is my last time being here. I know everything. I've been through all the lives before. I have to reawaken it. I have to refind it and ascend. That's it. Thank you.